Alright, so less than a week ago, we got the new Limit Breaker quest, and in the news post when it first initially released, they do mention it at the bottom that Caleb themselves will be asking us, the players who have played the Limit Breaker quest, to fill in a questionnaire, and where possible, will be adjusting the quest to meet players' expectations. This is pretty cool of them. It means they are open for improvement, and they want to make sure that this new mode that they have added best meets our standards when it comes to, I guess, enjoyability, and of course, also the rewards. It's pretty cool to see them do that. They've never actually done this in the past before. Whenever they add a new game mode, they never really have a questionnaire dedicated to the mode. Usually when it comes to questionnaires, we get one a year, and that's on the anniversary. And we should still be getting one for the anniversary. But as released this morning, the new Limit Breaker Quest questionnaire is here, where we can give some feedback to hopefully make the game mode a bit more fun, or more so reward players more, because I think that's the biggest complaint about this new mode, is that the rewards aren't good enough. This is our chance to give feedback. We get 5 orbs in return, but more so this questionnaire can be used to make the game mode meet our expectations, which again, KitLab is perfectly open for. And as always, when it comes to the questionnaires, we are going to be filling out a video, so let's go through the questionnaire. In this case, it is quite a short one, only 9 questions, but this is only dedicated to one part of the game, so it kind of makes sense, right? So in this case, what is my gender? I am a male. Question 2 is how old am I? I am 23. How long do I play Brave Souls on a daily basis? Damn, that's a good question. It's a tough one, to be fair. Because technically, at least when it comes to me, I make videos on the game, and that usually means less time on the game. But usually, I guess when it comes to actually playing it, this month in particular, I've been doing a lot of farming and epic raids. So I would say upwards to 3 hours. If we count the app being open and sometimes we just autoing quests on the side, it could definitely be upwards to 6 and maybe even more than 6 hours. But actually playing the game actively, I'd say up to 3 hours a day. But it depends, right? Sometimes it might only be an hour. Sometimes it definitely might be more than 6 hours. Question number 4. How do you feel about the Limit Breaker quest? So we have a few options here. Really fun, okay, boring, and really boring. In my case, I didn't really have much of a problem with the actual core gameplay aspect. I found it pretty fun. And I guess I'm just going to say it was fun. I would put really fun, and this is just like a little nitpick maybe, is that in certain stages, right, there are really tanky enemies, and I would actually like it if they weren't just bigger mobs, and instead were switched out with bosses like, let's say, Captains, Espada, Squad Zero characters, just to make it feel like more of a challenge stage. Like, it might play the exact same, but switching out the Hollows to be Grand Fisher, or Shinji, or any of the Visors, something like that, just a literal switch in the skin, would make it a bit more fun to me, at least. Maybe that doesn't make sense, I don't know, but I thought the game mode was fun. Let's just put fun. Number 5, though, how difficult do you find the Limit Breaker quests? This one's hard to say, because it really comes down to the characters you're using. You know, some people might find it really hard if they haven't worked on the characters. If you're using Quincy, Ichigo, 6th Anniversary Aizen, and Yama all max transcended, then it's going to be really easy, right? So I guess I'm just going to put normal. That's just how it is. The difficulty aspect is more so tied behind the timer, because that's what you're really fighting against, right? Question number 6. How does the 5-minute feel as a quest time limit? This one's a sticky one. I know some people wanted the game mode to have no time limit, but at that point, it would kind of get boring. Hypothetically, if there was no time limit, right, and you could really just go as far as you possibly can, at one point, you'll be at stage 150, and you'd have to spend 10 minutes to get to the next stage. That would be, it'd be kind of fun. And to me, at the very least, I feel like the time limit is just right, especially as someone that's done multiple different teams. The 5-minute limit allows you to use a 1 out of 5 team, and using the non-best character like, you know, Quincy Ichigo, 6th Anniversary Aizen, and also 1000-year-old Yamamoto, it allows you to get upwards to stage 12, sometimes even push to stage 15, which does allow you to get a gold medal. So I feel like the 5-minute timer is literally, yeah, just perfect, because it allows those that don't have the best set of characters to still manage to get a gold medal and pretty much get all the rewards in one particular run. This one's definitely going to be opinionated, but to me, I feel like it's definitely just the right sweet spot. Number 7, how do you feel about the rules as shown on the quest preparation screen? Really easy to understand, kind of easy to understand, normal, kind of hard, and also really hard to understand. So in this case, they'll be referring to the rules of the character. I think it's really easy to understand. I don't think there's much confusion in there. When you pick slot number 1 and you're designing your character, you clearly have all the rules laid out. Range damage ×2, killer effect ×5. I think it's really easy to understand. Question number 8 is an interesting one. Do you consider the stage of clear time shown on the results screen? So in this case, we have a few options here. I change my teams based on the times. I think about them, but don't change my team based on them. I don't really think about them, and then I didn't notice them. So in my case, I'm leaning more so in the side of I do change my teams based on the times, and I think about them, but I don't change my team based on them. Again, it really depends on the team that I'm using, but I guess I would say I do change my team, because I believe in my first initial run, I brought Roka because she matched all the requirements, but then I saw that she herself wasn't really clearing the fastest, and that was the slot that was bringing me down the most, so I did end up changing her for someone like Aaroniero, and then I was able to get a faster clear time. But I do like seeing the clear times at the end. It shows me where I improved in that particular run, and maybe even what stage should I use my Sobom in, especially when you only have one Sobom in particular. And then the last question number 9, if you have any thoughts on the Limit Breaker quest that you'd like to share, please enter them below. So in this case, this is where we get to give actual feedback, and this is going to vary from person to person. And I've actually gone ahead and already filled it out. So I feel like the mode's pretty fun, but it definitely does lack replayability for those that don't want to challenge themselves to go to higher stages. I know people like me and Tuki and other players, like my guildmates, for example, had fun trying to go for those really high stages and try and get like a new personal best. For me, one of my goals is to try and get to stage 25, but I don't think I can do it with the team that I do unfortunately have. Although at the same time, I know there's a lot of players out there that just only play for the rewards. They got to stage 12, got all the rewards, and don't even care about getting a gold medal or trying to challenge themselves to go higher and higher. So I feel like KLab need to find a sweet spot and more so encourage those that don't find enjoyability replaying the quest to go higher and higher, for example. So in my opinion, what they should be doing is, one, of course, include more rewards. But in a future update, they should include new orders that encourage retrying the quest with different teams multiple times. For example, reach stage 15 using a certain affiliation. This is very similar to Arena, for example. Now, in Arena, I think there's a lot of replayability in that particular mode. It really comes down to you, right? But at the same time, there are missions in that mode which basically require you or force you, if you want to get most of the rewards, to use different characters. And in any given Arena season, I'm always using different characters. In this particular mode, the way it's designed, if you have your best team, you're only going to use that team. And if you have the best team possible, Quincy, Ichigo, Aizen, and Yamamoto, you essentially only need to do the request once and you're done. And with the way the rewards are, you only get rewarded up to, I believe, stage 12, right? Making it so you have to use different affiliations. Again, like I said for the example, use 3 no affiliation characters, get to stage 15. That's going to be quite tough. Not everyone can do that, but it's going to reward those that have a wide range of characters, for example, and it's going to allow you to start using different characters, different teams. We actually see that in the current, campaign that's going on right now, where 4 players can get a Rainbow Special Move Source, and the 4 awards that we have right now is, a Hueco Mundo team, a Karakura team, a Soripa team, for example. That's kind of cool, and I feel like that should be implemented in-game as orders to get more rewards. What could those rewards be? For the most part, Limit Breaker Quest only looks to give orbs and also Transcendence points, so maybe 25 orbs, maybe more Transcendence points. Just more reason to play the quest more than once is something that KLab should be looking into doing with this particular modes. After that, we have more rewards to reach higher stages, for example, stage 20 through 25. This one's a bit of a sticky one, right? What we have seen for the most part over the last couple of so years is that KLab don't want to look rewards behind certain, I guess, paywalls, for example. Not every person is going to be able to get stage 25 or to stage 20. I can't even get to stage 25 right now, and it does require to have certain characters. But at the same time, if the reward was good enough, let's say hypothetically, if you got to stage 25, you got a special move source. If that was a reward, like really good, that right there would get me to summon on Quincy Ichigo's banner to get him so I could get to 25. I don't think we have to get special move sources, for example, but it would be cool. But as of right now, the rewards stop at stage 12, and that is currently the fairest set of rewards, right? That means everyone can get it, whether you're a well or you're a free-to-play player. If they do start implementing rewards at a higher stage, again, stage 20 to 25, that means only those that are, have a good set of characters, or those that have been playing for a long time with good links, good accessories, good characters, can get to those higher stages, but that therefore means that those newer players are going to be locked out on those rewards. And I guess if they did do those, stage 20 to 25 rewards, people might say the game was pay to win. And that has happened in the past. And that's probably why KLab only put it to stage 12, because at that point everyone can get it. But I do think having that extra challenge would be still fun and would encourage you to actually get more characters and work on those characters and maybe potentially play the mode multiple times so you can finally get to maybe stage 20, 25, for example. Again, using me as an example, right? I'm currently stuck on stage 24. I want to go to stage 25, but that's only a personal goal. If there was a reward for it and it was a good reward, then again, I would be trying even harder to get to the stage 25, and I would potentially get even summon on banners to get a character that will allow me to get to stage 25. So overall, I just think more rewards, especially for the high stages, would be good for the game. It might annoy some players because they might be locked out of it, but even if it's just more Transcendence points, those that can get to stage 25, I guess, should be rewarded for it. And then lastly, this one's more just a personal preference, a diamond badge for reaching higher stages. As of right now, there are 3 badges. bronze, silver, and golds. And I believe right now to get gold, you have to get to stage 15. But there's a big difference from clearing stage 15 and stage 20, 25. Some players even got into stage 30. So it would be cool, and this literally has no impact on the rewards or anything. It's basically just a PNG that gets displayed at the end of your run. But it would be nice if there was a diamond badge. Again, hypothetically, let's say diamond badge was stage 25. Then I would want to go for that because at least on your profile, I want to make sure that I get the highest medal for each particular limit breaker stage. As of right now, all I got to do is get to stage 15, and for an account like mine, that's going to be pretty easy. But yeah, I would like to add more, but at least when it comes to the questionnaire, you can't really add any more letters. So I have reached the cap, so I basically added all I want to see in this particular mode. Again, I feel like the core gameplay is actually pretty fun. I don't really have any complaints there. Didn't experience any bugs in this particular mode. As of right now, I just feel like the only thing they need to focus on is more rewards and a reason to give the majority of the players a reason to play the game mode multiple times. And I feel like that can be done again by making it so you have to use certain affiliations, maybe make a team of free technique characters, for example. For those sweaty players that want more rewards, having rewards go up to stage 20 to 25 would actually be quite cool, and it would encourage more players to maybe try and challenge themselves multiple times in this particular quest to reach those high stages. And then I guess a diamond badge would be cool, but this one isn't really necessary. This is just more of a personal one. And yeah, with that, let's confirm it, get those 5 cheeky orbs. But most importantly, giving feedback back to KLab to hopefully make the game mode a bit more fun and more so more rewarding. So yeah, with that said, lads, that was the video for today. Again, definitely recommend most of you lads go ahead and do this, especially if you have strong feelings about this mode. This is now your time to get your voice heard. And ultimately, now it comes down to KLab on how they're going to make the mode better. Again, they are open to it. They're doing this questionnaire. It's a first for KLab, so only time will tell. With that said, hope you guys enjoyed the video, though. I'll see you guys next time. Take care, and peace.